to, there we go. If you prefer that your face not be shown, please just disable your camera because we like the ability to share these special sessions with other people. Tonight will be Mindfulness with Thich Nhat Hanh. Miriam has studied extensively with a number of amazing teachers and will be sharing some of her insights and learning with us tonight. She is a practitioner of body-soul rhythms as well as a Jungian psychologist and uses body wisdom, meditation, and Reiki in her practice. She was blessed to be able to study with Thich Nhat Hanh, Marion Woodman, Rabbi Leibowolf, Rabbi Zalman Schechter Shalomi, and other teachers. And let me just mention that this is a list of some of the most esteemed practitioners of mindfulness meditation. This has allowed her to be very eclectic in her own practice as well as her own life. And she created the Embrace Life method in which the connection with the body and the soul is inherent. She says, learn how to embrace yourself and then you can embrace life. Miriam, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And let me turn this over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Martha, and thank you, everybody. I'm so happy we're here today to practice about presence. And as Martha asked me, I will share with you a little bit about my story before we get into the meditation. So I was a dancer since I was 3 years old. I became very in touch with my body. And when I finished my psychological studies at the University of Mexico, I wanted to connect movement with psychology. And I was able to go to the Laban Center of Movement in England. And I was trained for movement therapy. But still, I was feeling I was missing something, spirituality. And I was blessed to find teachers that fulfill my thirst for it. The first one was Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk from Vietnam, a mindful teacher and pacifist that is called Thai, meaning teacher in Vietnamese. When I met him, my life changed. I spent 8 days in a retreat in Key West with him and his monks and nuns. I learned to be in silence, to arrive home to my body, to meditate, to practice mindfulness, feeling that when I walk, I am kissing the earth, to hug trees in order to feel the energy of Mother Earth. Also, what was very important for me is that Buddhism is a way of life and not a religion. After this intensive, I continue his practices and teachings, and every 2 years, I joined him in silence retreats when he came to the United States until he had a stroke. I continue, of course, connected with the International Plum Village community in France, where he used to live. He passed away in 2022. At the same time, I met Miriam Woodman, a Canadian mythopoetic, a woman that worked with myths, a Jungian psychologist, writer, and a woman movement figure. She continued the work of Carl Jung through the body and the soul, creating the Body-Soul Rhythms program. When I met her when I met her in upstate New York in a Jungian intensive, her presence and body wisdom struck me. And I knew at that moment that I needed to study with her and do her work. I spent 9 years training with her, going to Canada and becoming a practitioner of body-soul rhythm. But still, I was missing a piece of my puzzle, how to integrate all this knowledge with my Judaism. My prayers gave birth. I was able to study with Rabbi Dr. Leibowolf, a Lubavitch rabbi, author, psychologist, Hasidic and Kabbalistic teacher from Australia, founder of Spirit Growth, that also teaches, besides other things, mindfulness and meditation. And being involved with the Jungian world, I came across of an intensive in Massachusetts with Rabbi Salman Schachter Shalomi about Yom, Torah, metaphors, and the four worlds. The mystical interpretation of the four letters of God, Yud, He, Vav, He, spirit, mind, heart, and body. Each one of these letters represents a realm of spirit or consciousness. Rabbi Salman was a spiritual polymath who had a particular passion for prayer and ritual. He introduced many people to Jewish meditation practices from Hasidic and Kabbalistic sources, as well as adaptation of rituals from Christian, Muslim, and Buddhist traditions. Besides other teachings, he sought to ask, what spiritual technologies from the past can help us become more thoughtful and transparent beings in the present? This project, which he called Jewish Renewal, involved a variety of experiments over the decades, braiding together the old and the new. And I thought I would love to read from you one of his quotes. The awareness that we stand in the presence of the living God is one of the most important realizations we can install in our operative consciousness. God is always present. The question is, how present are we? We want to stand in that presence without opacity. Our work is to penetrate in meditation and in action to the very heart of being truly present before God. Whoa, what a gift and a blessing. The four of them were coming from a different paths and talking about the same issues: mindfulness, presence, and other teachings. I feel so blessed to be able to study with all these wonderful teachers and be able to combine their teaching into my daily life as well as in my profession. Thank you for listening for my story. And now we are going to start with the meditation. So now let's find a comfortable position, sit or recline, lower or close your eyes, and bring awareness to your breathing, noticing the sensation of the in-breath and the out-breath. When we talk about presence, we are referring to be in the here and now with our body, mind, heart, and soul, the four worlds. So now I'm going to ask Marta to put the music that I choose. So just listen to the music and be aware of your presence in the experience of this meditation, allowing the music and your breathing to relax you more and more. The most precious gift you can give to yourself and others is your presence. Presence is the soul holding in love. Please take a deep breath and open your eyes, being aware of the gift of your experience. And if someone wants to share something, please do so. We will have one or two to share, and then all the questions will come at the end of the presentation. Okay, I will continue then. Presence is also very essential in Jewish tradition. Being in the present moment. For example, Shema Israel, hear, O Israel, be present with your whole being. Today we're going to experience the blessing of Sheheheyanu. This blessing is recited whenever we realize the miracle of the present moment. The blessing honors and expresses the wonder of having arrived. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sheheheyanu vekimanu vehiyanu lezman hazeh. Blessed are you, eternal Spirit, who has given us life, sustain us and allow us to arrive in this moment. In truth, however, each day is a momentous arrival. Our whole existence has led us to every single moment, the culmination of our life so far, which we are privileged to experience in the fullest of now. God, that miraculous force of grace unfolding, has brought us home. In encountering and honoring that force of homecoming, we turn and receive the gift of life. If we are truly present, we could say the Sheheheyanu in every moment, because every moment is new and truly unprecedented. Unfortunately, we often get distracted or complacent, and we habitually miss the miracle that is right in front of us. This blessing is an opportunity to do teshuvah, to return, and in returning, to bring attention back to the miracle of this moment, to the realization of the blessing of being alive, conscious, and receptive. When we say this blessing, we expand to receive the gift of life. We are reminded to take nothing for granted and allow ourselves to be surprised. Thank you. So now we can open for questions. If somebody has some questions.
Thank you, Miriam. It is such a wonderful opportunity to get to speak with you because Thich Nhat Hanh, Marion Woodman, Rabbi Shlomo Shalekti are all passed away at this point. So to speak
only
to
Label Wolf is the one who is still alive. Mm-hmm.
To speak to someone who studied with them is such a treat. And I am always interested in hearing how you perceive the differences and the similarities between Buddhism and Judaism with regard to meditation.
Well, I think everything is connected. I think everything comes from the same source. So they talk of different, with different words, but it's the same context. So I don't see any difference. On the contrary, everything is alike. Wilatsu?
I have a wonderment. When we studied Pirkei Avot, we were told if we spend our whole life studying Torah and we don't go and earn a living, then how will we sustain ourselves in order to study Torah all the time? If we work all the time to earn a living and don't study any Torah at all, that mix means we're losing sight of God. My wonder question is, if I'm in the present moment all the time, how do I pay attention to my work? How do I pay attention to Torah and be present all the time? I feel like I need to clone myself.
No, because you see, if you're in this particular moment, the only thing we have in this is this moment. So if you are working, you're working. When you are thinking about God, you're thinking about God. But if not, you are all the way and nowhere. So it's a metaphor of being in the present moment. You are here. You are not thinking of what happened yesterday or what is going to happen tomorrow. You're thinking about this particular moment, like today. We are talking about presence. Those doesn't mean that you're forgetting about God because you are connected. But then you can change from one to the other one, but you cannot have two at the same time. Did I answer your question? So.
What does that do? It kind of blows up multitasking.
Well,
thank you for that comment. It gives me another way to look at it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Yes, Barbara.
Hi, how are you? Thank you.
Hi. Thank you.
The problems that I always have, no matter what mode of meditation that I use, is to get my brain to quiet down so I can be in the present moment. Because I know I've had many opportunities and recognize the present moment. And when I am in it, nothing hurts, nothing bothers me. I'm very serene. But my brain is, going. And I'd like to, there's not an easy answer to this question because I've asked it many times.
Well, if you focus in your breathing, just take a deep breath and let it out through your mouth and just continue breathing. Because if you ask your brain to stop, it will never stop.
Right. Yes.
But if you concentrate in your breathing or in a mantra, then your brain stops. Sometimes we can meditate with a candle and we're just watching the candle or a mantra, or simply by focusing in your breathing. Because if I tell you, don't think about the white horse, immediately you're going to think. If you cannot say to your brain, don't think, because we always think, but if you focus on something different, so the brain would stop because you are focusing not in the brain, in something else.
Thank you.
Practice that. Let's see if it works and you can let me know.
I will. Thank you.
Do it at red lights. It helps to calm down from waiting at the red lights. The deep breathing.
So somebody else has a question? I don't know. There is something in chat, but I don't know how to use that. Marta. Do you know how to use the?
Yes, Nancy Ackerman-Warshawski said that Pir Kevod is the saying of the ancestors. Thank you, Nancy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I think we'll give you the word, Marta, again. Thank you so much for listening to me and allowing me to explain and practice with you a different kind of meditation.
Miriam, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And for those who would like to stay, we will do a 15-minute silent meditation. Unless, Marty, did you have a question or a comment?
I always have a comment, The biggest problem with all is that this all comes, I love what you say, and I believe it really more so. Unfortunately, you have to be aging, or, it takes time for you to realize what you have just preached. It's unfortunate. When you're young and you're vibrant and going through your teens and your changes of life and all, a lot of that goes by without realizing what it is. And I think that perhaps sometimes in the earlier classes, I don't know what some of this should be brought up at that time. because I think as they start your teenage years, you begin to, your mind goes traveling more, and you're grasping more and more knowledge constantly. And I think if you start teaching it maybe with true emphasis at that time, I think people will be a lot better, quite frankly, your recognition. I mean, unfortunately for me, I didn't start till just a few years ago. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm being perfectly honest. I've always been, grateful and stuff, but not like today. I mean, I get up every morning and I thank the man upstairs, or lady, I should say. But no, I thank them for the Modim Menachem Roch and the Shema. But then I started the Shema when I went into the military, and it got me through. And now, as I am in my last prime, it's getting me through that now. So I think it's just, should be taught early.
Definitely. My granddaughter used to go to a Jewish school, and now she changed, and they used to give them meditation, but not all the schools do that.
I never heard of it.
And I think it's very important for the kids to learn. But thank you for sharing that, because it's a reality. We need to teach the youngsters also to learn how to be in the present moment and to meditate for a little bit. So it's putting a seed in their brain that will develop into something wonderful later on. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Miriam.
So,
if there are no more questions, then thank you for coming. Anyone who would like to stay for a, say, 10-minute silent meditation with me and a little time for sharing after that or some crosstalk, please feel free. I did want to just mention, Marty, that there is a nonprofit in Miami called Mindful Kids Miami that teaches public school teachers meditation so they can use it in their classrooms. It's a wonderful organization, and we're so lucky to have it in Miami.
oh, wow. I didn't know about that. Thank you for sharing that. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Put it in a hot coal.
Okay, so those of you who are leaving, thank you so much for coming. Thank you to Miriam for being our guest speaker tonight. And
thank you.
who would like to stay, we'll do a short silent meditation. And if not, be mindful, be peaceful, be joyful, and we will see you next time. And thank you so much, Miriam, and thank you for your beautiful share and discussion about your amazing teachers.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure, and I will stay.